What's up, guys? It's Coach Vassar with the OTF Audio Daily Beats. If you're new to these, thank you for tuning in. Information in the description on how to support me. Appreciate you for doing that. We're going to go over Monday, November 4th, which is also going to repeat on Tuesday, November 19th. We're going to see endurance on the tread, strength on the rower, and endurance on the weight floor. Do a little overview, key concepts, kind of break down treads, rower, weight floor, 3G stuff, and then get you on out of here. So as far as key concepts go, on the treadmill, you got block 1 is all about builds. You're going to start low, gradually build the intensity. In block 2, it's a reverse build. So start high and gradually decrease intensity. You get 4 chances within each block to perfect that challenge. On the rower, it's like the treads, build intensity in block 1 and then take away intensity in block 2. And then on the floor, they're going to build exercises. So it's always 3 movements together that are going to be constructed to build into something. So as far as the treadmills go, block 1 has 4 builds. The goal is to keep the same speeds or inclines throughout. Then in block 2, it's 4 reverse builds. So can you keep the same intensity from block 1? In the builds, think low to high, and in the reverse build, it's high to low. So when we look at the complete big picture of it, it's 10.5 minutes for the 2 blocks. In times of duration, they're actually the same. So build 1, you're gonna see 1-minute intervals. Build 2, you're gonna be 45 seconds. Build 3 is 30 seconds, and then build 4 is 15. The block does end with a 30-second all out. In block 2, it's the exact same duration. So 1 minute, 45, 30, 15 with a 30-second all out. Of course, the orders are kind of slipped around. So when we look at block 1, they'll start with a 1-minute base, build to a base push, and then a push all out. And the idea is in that first build, they kind of set their 4 different efforts that they're going to try to maintain as the durations get shorter. Me personally, when it comes to coaching builds like this, power walkers, they do give them like an incline range. So for that 1-minute base, of course, they start 1 to 3%. And then on the template, it says anywhere from 1 to 6%. And then for the push, 6% or greater. And then for the push all out, 6 to 10%. So you could use those parameters, or you could also start with like a range and let the members know like, hey, power walkers, let's try to add 2 to 3% every build. And then joggers, runners, maybe somewhere between 0.3 to 0.7 of a speed range increase. See how that feels, and then can they maintain it? Because it should start challenging but doable, but gradually get that heart rate to climb up before they take it to their base. And then the next build, the intervals are a little bit shorter. We should still see a little bit of recovery during that first 45-second base, but then the heart rate will start to pick back up, maybe a little bit decrease, pick back up, a little bit of decrease. And then that last build with the 15 seconds, they're changing intensities pretty quick. So the increase in the intensity will go up. Heart rate should go up pretty quick, and of course, finish with that all out. Now, when you look at block 2, whatever they did in block 1, they're going to try to repeat it, but now they're going to start with the highest intensity and then decrease. So if they're power walking, they're probably going to start somewhere between 6 to 10% or greater. Joggers and runners, they might be anywhere from about 1.2 to maybe even 2 miles an hour over their base, and they're going to pull back on that speed every minute. So in that block, at the very beginning, heart rate's going to spike up, and then it will very gradually go down if it goes down at all. And then at that base, maybe a little bit of recovery, but then it'll go back up when they hit that next push all out and then start to dip again. So this is one where it's going to be truly about how they feel more so than heart rate response, because heart rate's going to get elevated no matter what. And so they're going to see potentially lots of time in like a low orange, especially in block 2. Other than that, that's pretty basic for the treadmills when we kind of look at the big picture of it. For people on the bikes and striders, no major call outs on the daily beat for this. So you could use just gear increases. So every build they're going to add between 1 to 2 gears, maybe increase RPM as another challenge. Overall objective, of course, try to increase wattage. Now, when we look at the rower and the weight floor, they'll have 2 blocks there for 10.5 minutes each. In the first block, they're going to have 2 different back-to-backs. Then they're going to go to the row. After that, they move into the bonus. So the first back-to-back, they're gonna do a combination of a dumbbell push-up for 4 reps, and then an alternating low row from a high plank position for 4 total reps, so 2 per arm. Then we'll smash it together. So they'll do a push-up to alternating low row for 4 reps. And then once they've completed all that, they'll rest and then repeat it. So they're doing each back-to-back twice before they go to the next one. Second one is gonna be a sumo deadlift, sumo squat, and then combine it into the sumo deadlift to sumo squat for 4 reps. And then for the row, in this block, they are gonna do a build on wattage. So it's gonna be a 10-stroke row at a lower wattage, and then a 10-stroke row at a higher wattage, and then rest. And then clear out the screen, and then repeat it. When it comes to this specific part for the rower, it's up to you on how you wanna coach them to increase their wattage. So they could keep their stroke rate similar, keep it between 20 to 24 for all 20 strokes. And then they have an increase in leg drive for those back half 10. That will definitely gear more towards that strength focus from the overall picture. They could also increase their stroke rate, which will by proxy will also increase their wattage. So maybe they do, 20 to 24 strokes per minute for the first 10. Then they hit, 24 to 28 for the back 10. Either way, be consistent on how you want to coach the members for this. And then use that time to also help the members. Most likely, they're probably going to get to that point while you're in the 30-second build or so, or the third build, so they're doing the 30-second efforts. You might have some people who speed through, and that might be when they're doing the 45-second builds, the second build. So you might have some time to be able to talk to members one-on-one off mic, or you might not have a lot of time to kind of help them out on that. So whichever way you want to coach them, definitely stick to that, and stick to your guns on that one. When we look at block 2, same idea as far as the weight floor goes. They're going to see dumbbell clean into a neutral grip front squat, and then a clean to front squat. Do those 3 things, rest, do them again, and then they'll do a core movement, dumbbell straight leg raise into a dumbbell crunch, and then straight leg raise crunch. Same thing, 2 rounds, and then they'll finally go to the row one final time. Now for the row, it's a reverse build. So the first 10 strokes should be a higher wattage, and then the back 10 will be a lower wattage. So if they are maintaining their stroke rate, more leg drive at the start, and then ease off that leg drive. So maybe they start about 6 to 8 out of 10, and then they'll go down to maybe like 4 to 6 out of 10 on that back half. Or if they're doing based off of the stroke rate itself, maybe a little bit quicker and then slow it down. For the finisher, it's gonna be member choice, so clean to front squat or the straight leg to crunch. So either of the 2 combo movements from that specific block. As far as options go, there's lots of different options to go from here. They do call out, at least in block 1, to do a full demo of the first construction. So for the dumbbell push-up, the high plank low row, and the push-up to low row, actually demonstrate it so that way members see how they flow together. And then when it comes to the deadlift and the sumo squat, you could do that just without a dumbbell, just kind of show them the setup of the feet position, mimic how they would move with their weight so they could see the clear distinction between a hinge for the 4 reps versus the squat for the 4 reps, and then how they kind of combine them. In the second block, same idea for the clean, the front squat, clean to front squat, use dumbbells, and then just acknowledge, you don't even have to demonstrate, but just acknowledge on the VVA the next 3 movements. When we look at the 3G, still we're gonna see 2 blocks on the treadmills, and they're gonna use the second, third, and fourth build from the 2G. So they're not gonna use the 1-minute intervals. They'll have a 6.5-minute block where they'll do the 45-second builds, the 30-second builds, and then the 15-second builds, and finish with a 30-second all out. They'll get 90 seconds to recover before they do the reverse builds. So same idea applies. The first 45-second build, build 1, which takes about 3 minutes, that's when they set the intensities that they're gonna try to maintain, and then repeat in builds 2 and 3, and then take that into the next block where they start with the push all out, decrease to base, back to the push all out for 30 seconds, back to base, etc., etc. When it comes to the rower, they're going to see the same builds as they see in the 2G, but they will also add a med ball exercise. So in block 1, 20 stroke build, first 10 lower wattage, next 10 higher wattage, and then they'll do a med ball alternating reverse lunge for 12 reps, just as a way to get off that rower, kind of shake out their legs a little bit before they get back on. And then in block 2, they have the reverse build, and they're going to do that with a med ball tricep extension. And then they'll finish with a 30-second all out during the final 30. Weight floor, exact same setup as the 2G, just of course there's no rowing since the rowers are going to be there. So they'll have the push-up, the plank, low row, and then the push-up to low row combo, and then of course sumo deadlift, sumo squat, and then combine them. And then block 2, clean, front squat, clean to front squat, leg raise, crunch, straight leg raise to crunch. Super fun, super festive. Main takeaways for the 3G, be smart about how you cue things so that way you save your breath. When it comes to the weight floor, use the advantage of that VVA, especially acknowledging the leg raise stuff, because you don't necessarily need to demonstrate all 6 movements, because you also have to set up those rowers and then launch those treads in 90 seconds. You'll see this one once again on Tuesday, November 19th. Other than that, have fun with it, work on those builds, get that expectation of that heart rate response, maybe slowly climbing up on that first one, and then it kind of picks up as they start to fatigue. Have fun with this one and coach it down.